You are listening to the Cyclone Tailgate Show, brought to you live from the KHOI studios and from the Iowa State University Gridiron Club's tent in the parking lot of Jack Trice Stadium. We are with you live until 4 p.m. I'm B.J. Kearns in the KHOI studio with alum from the Alumni Marching Band, Lorna Wilhelm Livingston. Welcome back to Iowa State for homecoming.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Would you share with us how old you are?
Well, I was 89 on my last birthday, and I expect to be 90 on my next one, even though I look 100 in the mirror.
That makes you the oldest alumni currently attending the reunion and marching.
Correct.
You've been attending the Alumni Marching Band reunions for how many years?
This is our 35th year.
And how many halftime shows have you marched?
All 35.
How did you become eligible for the Alumni Band?
Having marched with the marching band all 4 years that I was a student at Iowa State.
And what years were those?
1944 through 1948.
Can you tell about your status in the band?
The first 2 years I was in school, the war was on, and so Alvin Edgar had women in the marching band because there weren't enough men. But when the war ended, he invited all of the women to leave the band because he wanted only men. But there were two of us that played bells, and he didn't have any men to play it, so he let the two of us continue in the marching band. Well, the first home game after the war, at rehearsal Saturday morning before the game that afternoon, they announced at rehearsal the 1946 Iowa State 120-piece all-male marching band. And we had to don our policeman's caps. We both had long dark hair at that time, and we had our hair all pinned up underneath our caps. And I said to Helen, let's skip the bobby pins this afternoon. And so we did. And so as we tipped our caps, our long dark hair fell down, and we were right in front of the band, facing the fans. Well, of course, that encouraged Edgar to dismiss us. We were to turn in our black uniforms. He advertised, he did everything he could to find a man who could transpose. We had to transpose all of our music from B-flat cornet music, lower it one note and add two flats, and memorize the music because there was no place to carry a lyre. He could not find a man to do that. So he was going to do us a favor and let us continue in the band. But we had to wear white drum major uniforms and march in front so that we were between the twirlers and the band in our white uniforms. So now he considered us not part of the band. It was now an all-male marching band. At our first reunion, we had our name tags on and the years we were in the band. And this was 1980. And the head of the music department came up to me and asked me, what instrument did your husband play? I said, my husband played no instrument. Well, we didn't have women in the marching band those last 2 years. I said, you had two of us. And I told him that story. And he said, as long as Edgar lived, we could never have all colored uniforms for the bell players. They had to wear white trousers. And so I said, the secret is no bobby pins.
I can certainly relate to everything you said. We're pals on the field. I also play the bells. I was also in the all-male marching band in the 60s. I want to thank you so much for taking the time to come here, Lorna. This is B.J. Kearns, KHOI Radio, Cyclone Tailgate Show with Iowa State University's Gridiron Club. We are with you live until 4 p.m. Thank you for listening in to 89.1 KHOI Community Radio.